KKHT wants you to meet the classiest guys in real estate.
This is Tim O'Neill, the icon of insurance.
I'm Chris Kelso, the Meister of Mortgage.
And I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate. And together we are
the Real Estate Rat Pack. Much like us, real estate in the greater Houston area is hot.
So whether you're buying, selling, owning, or insuring real estate in the greater Houston area,
you need to check us out as we are the preeminent source for everything you need to know.
And now, they're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now 1-800-808-5548. The Real Estate Rat Pack.
Good morning, Houston.
And surrounding areas.
And the greater Houston area.
I don't want to forget about it. We have a lot of good friends out there,
city.
out in the Woodlands and Sugarland and Pearland. So
we have them everywhere.
We got them everywhere. So
you know what else we have everywhere? We have everywhere throughout the greater Houston area a lot of mamas.
Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day is coming up tomorrow, by the way. So the Rat Pack wants to give a very big, warm embrace and thank all the mothers out there who are
put up with our stuff for
you're putting
all
up with
those
our
years.
stuff for a long time, exactly. But let me tell you, being a mom is hard work.
Never haven't been one, but it
Yes.
looked hard.
Yes,
I would have set
me
me out on the side of the road a long time ago.
From my wife all the way down to any woman that I know who is a mother has proven it to me. It is hard work, trust me. But you know, we have a little man in the studio right here who wants to say something to his mom. What do you want to say?
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy.
There it goes.
That's Big Dog.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the big dog's in the studio. He wanted to say Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. And to all the other mothers out there, we want to wish a very, very warm Real Estate Rat Pack Happy Mother's Day.
I hope you have something special planned for Regina.
The kids do. I am supporting that endeavor.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Good,
but,
good.
But technically they do.
So I want to thank everybody who showed up on the bus yesterday. We had a good time. We went to the Golden Nugget in Lake Charles.
That is correct.
Once again, and everyone had a good time. I don't think anyone walked away with any money.
No. Actually, no. I think several people did walk away with some money.
Well, I did because guess what?
Yes.
I don't gamble.
You don't gamble.
So I always break even.
And it was a beautiful day at the pool, by the way.
It was a beautiful day.
Gorgeous day at the pool.
So we appreciate everybody who participated.
Yep.
So we got an interesting show today. We've never had a roofer come on.
That is true.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And of course, we have a returning. She's officially a two-timer.
Yes.
Monica Vaca.
She's a two-timer.
So, and I know Monica's got to get to an appointment today, so I think we had to probably start off. Of course,
I would absolutely agree.
So we can let her go.
That way she can start and she can finish. She can have a good time and she can go out there and do something that we all like to do, which is sell real estate. Isn't that correct? You know, we got a mic right there for you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I got a new nickname this morning, two-timer. Ooh, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I was trying to remember. You were on our premier year, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about you, where you are, and then we're going to talk about the market and how your business has been looking, because you said it's been going up, and we love hearing that stuff.
No, absolutely. Well, I'm about 29 years into real estate. I am the broker owner of Century 21, the real estate group, on Memorial, and specialized very many years with investors and foreclosures, and so I'm still doing the same thing. And we have a team of about 20 agents, but I'm also a very active sales professional within the firm.
So you're still very active in that market yourself. So you're not just herding cats. You're also selling real estate.
That is correct.
So anyway, well, talk a little bit about the market, because I know your focus isn't just Memorial. You kind of get
no, we go all over. Well, the market compared to, let's say, last year is tremendously picked up. I think that we're seeing our inventory numbers come up quite a bit month by month, and March was a rather slow month, but April cleaned up very quickly.
Yeah, because I'm hearing mixed reviews out there, because I've had some people say they've slowed, and we've seen that people that are dealing in the higher end, that 500, 700, they're seeing their market slow down in like the Woodlands and Katy and those type of areas.
Well, I can tell you that definitely the upper end, like you said, the 500 and over, are taking quite a bit. If you, depending on what subdivisions, what communities you work there, but overall, anything over 500, 700 is taking quite a bit. I mean, we're talking about 300 days on the market. So that market has slowed down. And one of the markets that I don't think has ever slowed down, regardless of what we have had, what recession we've had or not, has been the first-time homebuyers market. The first-time homebuyer market, it's is growing and it's steady.
Well,
I would agree with you right there.
You know, rates are still at an all-time low, right, Chris?
You know, rates right now are back to an all-time low. I did not think, I thought at the beginning of the year when they got low again, I was like, okay, but now they are back to where we have not seen them in a long time. And it's sort of that, how low can you go? It's one of those perfect storms, I think. I mean, we have, interest rates which are extremely low. We still have a lot of good inventory out there. As you were mentioning, Monica, there's some areas, that we're even seeing a pickup right now. That market that had lagged a little bit, in the let's say 750 plus, we're starting to see a lot of those buyers come back in for the summer, which is pretty neat. But you're right, the first-time home buyer, though, is still extremely strong out there.
Oh, definitely. And, the great thing about the first-time home buyer is that the price range has increased tremendously. With an average price range in Houston of about $272,000, that's fantastic. So, and what I'm seeing also, which I had not seen in the past few years, is that the buyers at this point in time, the first-time home buyers in the 200, 300, which are still first-time home buyers, the age of these buyers is phenomenal. They're 27, 30, 31 years old, 30 years old, 35 years old, and they're
responsible.
They're responsible. I just love to work with that. I mean, if you're out there and you're just graduated college, or if you're just out of your first year and at work or whatever it is, and if you fall into that price range, you can buy, because I see so many of these millennials renting for $2,000, $3,000 a month. It's crazy.
I know, and you're absolutely right. One of the things they're coming into the market. They're very well qualified. They're buying an average home, which is not the average starter home that we used to see 10 years ago. The average starter home they're coming into is 225, 250 range. But I think they've got that mature. One of the things that we've seen, we had Robert Hahn on, we talked about this, is we've seen that maturity. Individuals, it used to be, you get out, 21 you're married, 24 you have kids, 25 and now what you're saying, that's all sort of expanded. Now the average person's getting married later in life. They're buying a home a little bit. When I say later, in their later 20s, early 30s, but it's caused them to have that maturity. And it's a lot of fun to see that, and it's very interesting to go through that process.
I'm always curious with people who are working with first-time home buyers. What do they look for? What's their motivator, do you think, typically? Are they looking for lifestyle? Are they looking for location?
A lot of them are looking for location more than lifestyle. I think location has always been, that's an old adage in real estate.
Yeah,
location. But I would think it's a little bit of both. Some do look for lifestyle. But I see that the younger professional nowadays has a very good head on their shoulders, and they are more focused on the numbers of what they can afford. But many of them don't know what they can afford yet. So that's when a person like you, Chris, comes in to work together with a real estate professional in which we can guide them. And it's true. It used to be, I got married at 18. My daughter, instead, she just got married last October, and she's 29. So, and
yes,
she's building her house. They're, buying their house. So their structure is a little different.
I'm doing the math over here. Okay.
I know. No, I'm still 20. I'm still
29.
I'm still 40.
I was never good at math.
I started young, I said.
And of course, it doesn't matter where in the greater Houston area the home is or where you buy your home. Everyone still wants their kids to go to Katy schools, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like far north Katy and far west Katy. I've got to find an address somehow to get to Katy schools.
I found, Katy and Cypress are fabulous school districts, and the Woodlands, of course. But a lot of people are also looking in the Spring Branch area. Mm-hmm. Spring Branch is an older neighborhood that it is just.
Starting to see those teardowns.
Those teardowns, I'm telling you, those teardowns are unbelievable. And you know what? These people would, especially young professionals, don't mind going in and buying a small house, that is a fixer-upper and being in that school district. So it's about priorities.
Until they find out what a fixer-upper really looks like.
Well, what's amazing is,
myself.
Yeah, I mean, Monica's office is located right there in the heart of Memorial. I mean, so if you look at it, she has all of West Memorial. She has all Memorial proper. She's literally, less than a mile away from Spring Branch over there with all that redevelopment. I mean, and we see it because we talked about this all the time. Is all if you grab from your office and you look at a 10-mile radius right there, it's a tremendous investment opportunity still.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And investors. I have had so many investors and international buyers this this last year, it's unbelievable. And there's still great deals out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a lot of investors are still buying.
Where are your
in,
investors coming from?
Latin America.
Latin America.
Yep.
All of Latin America.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So one thing I was reading about millennials and things like that, they actually are a little more level-headed than some of us boomers, and that they aren't necessarily going for the biggest or something like that. They're putting their budgeting to make sure the house fits their. They want to do other things rather than, because in our generation they said, buy as much house as you can get.
As long
Right.
as there's a place for their Xbox, they're fine.
But they're not going for the big houses and stuff like that. They're actually going for something a little more compact because they can be a little closer in, a little smaller. Home.
I truly agree with that. Perfect example, and I keep referring to my daughter because I'm just so proud of her and her husband. They're at this age, 29, between 29 and 35, and they bought below what their approval was, and they look at the distance from work, the location was important, school district was important, all these things. So I see the same trend with that age group. So I think it's fantastic, and they're wonderful to work with. They're absolutely wonderful to work with.
Right, very educated buyer. And the other thing that's happened is if the advent of where we stand nowadays. I mean, the HAR app. I look at that, how educated they can get now and walk through the process and really have you have a very good millennial educated buyer who's very in tune with what they can afford, who want to buy, as you mentioned, below their budget, but then also they don't know how to use technology. Whether it be e-docs, whether it be, all those type of things that make the transaction
That's why
extremely
agents better
easy.
be really sharp because they're going to find out their buyers and sellers are going to be a lot more informed than they are. So they need to stay in that leading edge of that information.
You
as
took
well.
the words right out of my mouth. Let me tell you, that is one thing nowadays. Technology is a wonderful thing, but it can be a taboo as well in for certain people. Yes, as an agent, you really have to be up to date and prepared, and you have to be bold about technology and do that. One of the reasons I love to work with this generation is that I don't have to go in, meet them for a signature. It's like everything is DocuSign, done, boom.
and they want everything right now.
Exactly.
And they expect it because, it used to be, when we first started getting in the internet, I remember that we were doing that migration over to the internet in 97 with HAR. And the expectation at that time was you return an email within 48 hours.
Right.
Now it's probably more like 48 seconds.
Right.
They move on quickly if
And
they
the
don't get a
texting?
response. And you know what? Boomers have become the same way. Really?
Pretty much moved on
it's
from
been
email
30
too.
seconds.
Email's kinda dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I think you're right though. Everyone's we're in the now moment right now. It's what can you do right now to take care. If you can't, individuals will move on, unfortunately. But there's a way to utilize technology, and I talk about this all the time. In fact, I give a class about this, which is creating a relationship or a physical touch out of that digital footprint,
I think
right?
It's just a conduit for a good relationship.
That is correct. And so I still think nothing's ever going to take away the ability to create a good relationship. And technology should be something that enhances the process, doesn't take away from that relationship still. And I think that's one of the things, that's the key to technology still today, is
Absolutely.
educating individuals how to maintain, a relationship. Because anyone who's doing transactions is not what we want to do. We're creating relationships. That is
Right.
correct.
That's when you and I and our man here, Tim, we're all that same way.
Right.
It's all about the relationships, and we're different
Yeah.
age groups and stuff like that. So nothing's going to replace that touch. Was why when people talk about being disintermediated by technology, I don't think that's going to happen ever.
A personal note, a personal phone call is always appreciated. It's
Oh,
the
yes.
it's the best relationship builder.
The internet's just a big Rolodex if you think about it.
Right.
There you go.
Good way to put it. We're coming up against a break here right now. So how can we get a hold of you, Monica?
Super easy. 281-831-4935.
And she still answers her phones.
And
I
one
sure do.
and one more time.
281-831-4935.
If they just want to go to a website, where would they go?
www.century21. Best way to
I
get
told you I
hold of
wouldn't
it.
ask you any hard questions.
Yeah,
but
that
obviously I did.
was a hard one. See, the best way is 281-831-4935.
That is awesome. Well, that is the great Monica Vaca. She is with Century 21 right there in Memorial. We have to take a break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh, baby, no, baby, you got me all wrong, baby. My baby's already got all of my